Hello and welcome to Accounting Web's latest product showcase with Soldo. I'm Franz Bardenos, the business editor at Accounting Web, and I'm joined today by Darren Upson, the VP Small Business Europe for Soldo. Welcome, Darren.
Thanks for having me, Fran.
We're going to be looking at the Soldo product today, and we're also going to look at some of your frequently asked questions about Soldo and how it can help meet your challenges day to day. But firstly, Darren, we're going to turn to you. Darren, can you tell us about Soldo in 60 seconds, please?
Sure. So Soldo is a multi-user expense account. It includes company payment cards for employees and departments, also user app, which is really intuitive, and also preemptive spend controls for the finance organization to have 100% control about what money is being spent, where and by whom. What we're seeking to achieve is to streamline the process from transaction all the way through to reconciliation for both businesses and the accounting firms.
Cool. So what are the main problems that Soldo solves?
So the biggest challenge that most businesses face is actually controlling the money leaving the business. So we control the L in P&L. We're solely focused on looking at the money that's leaving the organisation. So by using Soldo, the business has instant visibility of every single penny that's leaving the organisation that's being spent on a card. It's a huge benefit to a business because actually, one of the biggest challenges is having positive cash flow. And at the moment, every focus has really been on trying to actually get money in rather than stemming the tide of money leaving the business. So we look after that. The product itself, in terms of how it works, so with Soldo, when you want to buy something, use your Soldo card. As soon as you make that transaction, you get a notification on the app. The notification asks you for a photograph of the receipts and then for any notes and to categorize the expense as well. Once you've completed that information, you never have to do any additional expense reports. Your expenses are done.
Oh, cool. Sounds like a dream. In terms of, let's jump straight into the example. You've got your full setup going. Yeah. I believe you took the train here this morning?
I did, yeah. I came down on GWR from London. So if I look at the laptop screen, so this is the Soldo dashboard for an employee. You can see all the different transactions that have been made, but the one we're talking about now is the Great Western Railway. I've got the copy of the receipt, which is just here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my iPhone 10 to take a photograph of the receipt, add the categories, and then that information will come across seamlessly into this app. So let me do it now. So just going to log into the app using Face ID. Okay. And then I'm going to take a photograph of the receipt. So I'm just going to take a snap of that. And then I am going to add the tag and put a note on there that this is for Accounting Web. Okay. Now, if I click on that, if I show you on screen, this is what the transaction looks like on the app. And if I hit the refresh button on the laptop, so if I go up here, click on the refresh, you can see that these two areas have changed, so they're now orange with a little attachment and also this marker here. If I click on this transaction, I can see that I've got, Great Western Railways, so awesome. I've got the amount of money, which comes through automatically as part of the transaction, but I've now also got a copy of the receipt, which I can click on here, so you can see a copy of the receipt. You've also got tags, so this is categorization of the expense, and if you are using Xero, it will automatically inherit the categories, the spending categories that you've got within Xero. And I've also got a note on there for Accounting Web, so when finance do have a look at my expense, they can see what the purpose of this particular expense was. And that's done.
Oh, nice and simple. So Darren, you mentioned Xero there briefly. I understand you guys are getting up to something quite exciting with them. What's happening?
We've actually got a couple of really exciting announcements to make. So the first one is to do with the Xero integration. We've just launched an integration what we believe is the biggest and best integration so far with Xero. The actual integration will work in two ways. First way is that we're actually setting up a bank feed into Xero using the open banking API that Xero have recently launched, which will mean that transaction information comes across to the Xero product as a bank statement line. In addition to that, we're also launching a full integration, which means that all of the enriched information that we capture as part of the receipt capture and notes and everything else as part of the receipt capture process will go across to Xero as well. And that will then allow the user to be able to reconcile those transactions directly within Xero, but be able to see the source transaction and the actual transaction from Soldo in there as well. So it's a really exciting opportunity. The second big announcement we're making is actually the launch of a partner program for accountants and bookkeepers. So the Soldo partner program is launching at XeroCon, what this actually is going to consist of is the ability for accountants and bookkeepers to actually encourage their clients to start using the Soldo product. We're actually going to be making Soldo available free of charge to accounting firms to be able to use to actually manage their own practice, so they can get up to speed on how the actual product works. But then beyond that, we're going to have special partner edition versions of the products that are only going to be available exclusively via the accountant and bookkeeper channel. So some really exciting things coming that I think are going to be a game changer for our space.
So thank you very much, Darren. That sounds great. So that's about all we have time for today. So to find out more about how accountants like you are using Soldo, check out their software review page. And for everything else accountancy related, check out accountingweb.co.uk. I'm Francis Bardenos. Thank you very much.